Hi, I'm John Davis, and this is MotorWeek. We're fast out of the paddocks in the BMW M2 CS. Then we'll pull off for our briefing on roadside safety. We'll downsize for bloomin' enthusiasts with pedal-powered car classics before heading back out in the new Subaru Outback. So come drive with us next.
MotorWeek, 45 years steering you in the right direction.
MotorWeek is proudly sponsored by Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper, a nationwide network of stores and shops providing major brand auto and truck parts and service from coast to coast and in your local community. Service is the difference. We get it. Learn more at autovalue.com and bumpertobumper.com.
We're Tire Rack. We test tires and share our results. We stock over 1 million tires. We offer multiple installation options. We do this because we believe tires matter. TireRack.com.
It's no secret that the pint-sized BMW M2 delivers supersized levels of fun and performance. But for people that have an even bigger hunger for hustle, there is a biggie size grab-and-go upgrade. It's called the M2 CS. So let's see if it cures our craving for speed. More power, less weight. It's a well-proven action plan for turning good sports cars into great ones. So the mission at hand for us is to see if that holds true in this 2026 BMW M2 CS. Starting under the hood, where added power for the 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 comes strictly from software tweaking, as engine internals stay the same as the base M2. Still, CS results are notable. 50 more horsepower to 523 with an additional 36 pound-feet of torque at 478. Peak torque does move a little higher in the rev band. Engine mounts are stiffened, and the quad-tip M exhaust system makes sure everyone hears you coming and going. Unlike most of the current M stable, this remains exclusively rear-wheel drive, making it the top gun among rear-drive M cars. That's the good news. The bad news is no more manual transmission, just an 8-speed automatic, though it's really not bad news at all, as the latest M Steptronic shifts faster than you can, and was certainly thinking faster than we could when it came to finding gears out on the track. This purple projectile also comes with launch control for making fast getaways, but you can do just as good on your own, releasing the brake around 2,000 RPM and then squeezing the throttle rather than just flooring it. We hit 60 in 3.6 seconds and cleared the quarter mile in 11.8 seconds at 120 miles per hour. But as you might expect, the real mission of the CS is to get around a racetrack faster than a standard M2. In that pursuit, a complete suspension overhaul has taken place, with new springs and dampers resulting in a slightly lowered stance, plus software upgrades for chassis control systems. All managed through M Dynamics, of course, with the ability to recall 2 custom settings with M buttons on the steering wheel. Weight loss is another part of the package, with most efforts coming down to replacing components with carbon fiber reinforced plastic. That includes side mirrors, the roof, rear diffuser, grille surround, front splitter, and even the rear deck lid. These great-looking 19 and 20-inch forged alloy wheels help too. But all said, we're only talking about 100 pounds, so we're still at 3770. So they haven't exactly turned it into a Mazda Miata. Out on the track, the first thing that hit us was just how quick and forcefully throttle response hits. It's not a heavy hammer of torque, just rocket-like propulsion that seems to be always available. The suspension felt incredibly stiff, and that heightened response showed up in the steering as well, with more feedback through the wheel than anything we've driven from BMW in quite some time. It's not a totally foreign experience compared to the standard M2, as it maintains a playful nature. It just feels faster and way more planted. That newfound steering feel comes through a thick-rimmed steering wheel that feels great in the hands. These M carbon bucket seats, not so much for other body parts, but they sure lock you in place out on the track. Grip from the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires was terrific, and braking performance was strong enough to dislodge any fast food debris long sequestered under the seats. The last M2 CS caused quite a stir when it arrived in 2020, with dealers taking advantage of limited numbers, so be prepared for more of the same. The M2 CS's exaggerated rear fenders and throwback color scheme had us actually thinking back to the late 1980s and the first M3 we had here at Roebling Road Raceway. We loved its remarkably well-balanced chassis, but seemed more enamored that its four-cylinder engine had Formula One technology. Government fuel economy ratings for the current M2 CS are unchanged at 16 city, 23 highway, and 19 combined. Meeting your competitive sporting needs will cost you $99,775. That's a steep $30,000 over the base M2. So is the 2026 BMW M2 Competition Sport the most unforgettable M car ever? Well, that kind of hyperbole might be a stretch, but less weight, more power, and heightened handling have absolutely produced a great effort, and one of the most memorable M cars we've driven in a very long time. Around the time the first automobiles hit the roads, tiny rideable examples soon followed. Known as pedal cars, they dominated as the go-to kids' toy back in the day. Well, now these nostalgic cars are part of a special classics exhibit at the Antique Automobile Club of America Museum in Hershey, Pennsylvania. As Stephanie Hart shows us, their working horns and chrome accents make them fun for all ages.
This is perhaps the finest pedal car collection in the country. It was carefully assembled over 25 years, and just looking at these adorable little cars, you can't help but smile. Pedal cars originated around the 1890s, paralleling the development of the automobile. Children wanted to be just like their parents, so that meant having the same car as mom and dad. As a result, pedal cars came to life, fueled by tiny leg power and make-believe. Today, pedal cars are essentially antiques, replicas of cars that people adored back in the day. This permanent pedal car exhibit at the AACA Museum in Hershey, Pennsylvania highlights 15 pedal cars. All meticulously crafted and restored, some are worth about $30,000.
All of these were designed by industrial designers and engineers of the period that were retained by the toy companies. And these toy companies were very large enterprises, and there were quite a number of them that made these beautiful pedal cars.
Like this Auburn supercharged pedal car. It's a very, very rare car, and probably one of the most famous pedal cars, among others.
You can see the detail both in the exterior, the lights, the horn, the side vents, and the interior. The interior is absolutely meticulously restored. It's fully upholstered just like a car would be. It has side mount wire wheels and obviously tail lights at the back. Those lights all work, and the interior of the car is absolutely breathtaking. It's just a miniature version of what a full-size car would have been.
Another stunner, this mini Lincoln Zephyr, which looks insanely perfect. And this station wagon is beautifully restored with real wood finishing. Nothing has been overlooked in this collection. And it gets better. Not far from here, there's an entire museum bursting with pedal cars. It's like walking into a larger-than-life toy box stuffed with all your dream cars. These two Packards are favorites in the collection. So many beautiful details.
One is the full suspension.
That is nice.
Door that opens.
Love that.
And a tilt steering wheel.
Very cool. It's worth about $20,000 today and is part of a collection of 153 pedal cars at the Cyberling Museum in Ephrata, Pennsylvania.
The Packards that we just talked about, they were in the $75 to $100 range, which was out of the price range of most families. In the 50s and 60s, they kind of capped them around the $15, $20 range, which your middle class was making more money, so that was what I call an obtainable Christmas or birthday gift for a child.
Every pedal car here has a unique story under its hood. Austin Healy created this one. That's why it's one of the few that actually has a VIN number attached to it.
This one was made in Britain. It has what I call a false engine. It does have working headlights. It has a handbrake. And it's a bigger pedal car that bigger kids could ride in it.
It's remarkable that so many of the early pedal cars are still around today, thanks largely to careful restoration, after most of them were reprocessed as scrap metal to support World War II efforts.
Restoring these pedal cars is just like restoring a car. So you have to have the metal formed again, you have to fill in any places that are missing, you have to re-chrome the chrome accessories, you have to have an upholstery shop do the interior. So it's just like restoring a car. That's why these pedal cars today are A, so costly to restore, and B, so valuable once they are restored.
Some would argue priceless, resurrecting yesterday's childlike joy into our world today.
In Europe and many other parts of the world as well, touring car racing has a popular following that is comparable to the frenzied fanatics of NASCAR. And now this excitement has found its way to our shores as well, as the North American Touring Car Championship. And while these cars may look like your average grocery getter, they truly are wolves in sheep's clothing.
Michelin's very excited about being involved in the North American Touring Car Championship. It gives us an opportunity to train our engineers because we know racing is a very dynamic exercise that teaches people how to think quickly on their feet.
We don't condone taking people out of races, but the fender banging, the wheel banging, the mirrors here and there, that kind of stuff, this has all become an integral part of touring car racing.
And so it seems that the operative phrase for the touring car series may be learn on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Even with the right maintenance, some things just can't stop from happening. Punctures, road debris, or just bad luck. Well, here's Audra Forden with tips on how to stay safe when you find yourself stranded on the side of the road on MotorWeek's Your Drive.
Have you ever been stuck on the side of the road with your car saying, nope, not today? It's stressful, maybe even a little scary, but I've got good news for you. With the right tools and a little prep, you can take control of the situation. There is a must-have toolkit to keep you roadside safe and get you moving again. Safety first, always. If your car starts acting up, turn on your hazard lights immediately so that others know that you're in distress. Pull over safely, far from traffic, find the shoulder or a parking lot, or even better, a side street if you can. If it's dark or foggy, look for a location that has lights. Use reflective triangles or flares or a reflective vest to make you more visible. And don't leave your car unless it's absolutely necessary for you to go. Essentials for your toolkit, well, they start with jumper cables or a portable jump starter. A dead battery is super common, and jumper cables, well, they can save the day. Just remember, red is to positive and black is to negative. Even better, that portable jump starter, no second car is required, provided that it is fully charged up. So make sure you have a habit of checking your portable charger. Because low tire pressure can lead to blowouts, a portable compact tire inflator or one that plugs into your car gets your tires back in shape fast. It is perfect for slow leaks. A simple but powerful must-have is a flashlight. It helps you to see what you're doing, and it helps others to see you, especially at night. Because bumps and scrapes can happen, well, a first aid kit with bandages, wipes, and gauze are always great to have on hand. Duct tape and zip ties, this is a necessity in your kit. It really can fix almost anything in a pinch. Think loose panels, hanging fender, broken side view mirrors, and cracked hoses. And if you can't fix it yourself, call for help. Have your roadside assistance information saved in your phone so you're ready when you need it. There you go. Your quick guide to staying safe and prepared. Remember, stay calm, stay visible, stay smart. With the right tools in your trunk, you're never truly stranded. If you've got any questions or comments, reach out to us right here at MotorWeek.
We're back on the throttle for an all-new Quick Spin.
Mazda crossover utilities stand out thanks to their commitment to the driving experience. But with a recent shift towards a more upscale image, we were curious how the new 2026 Mazda CX-5 might change that. After a first drive in Southern California, we're happy to say it hasn't. The bodywork is unmistakably Mazda, the recontouring of plastic and sheet metal more in line with design language we've seen on the CX-70 and 90. The interior is a notable step up too, and not just because of the available 15.6-inch infotainment display and standard 10.25 digital gauge readout, but the CX-5 has grown in length and wheelbase by almost 5 inches, so that means more second-row legroom, while the 40-20-40 split second-row design itself is very versatile. With additional airbags and a suite of driving aids, the CX-5 will be an even better family hauler. And as for the drive itself,
Mazda's done a lot of work as of late to bring more premium upscale vibes to their portfolio, and this new CX-5 really just continues the trend. It's been redesigned inside and out, it's got a lot of really good features baked into it, but that all being said, they haven't lost the plot. Mazdas, compared to their competitors, tend to be a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more engaging, and this CX-5's very much the same. It's got steering that's a little tauter than you might expect, suspension that's a little bit firmer in a good way, a true 6-speed automatic, standard all-wheel drive, just a lot of qualities that drivers have really come to appreciate from Mazda, MotorWeek included.
the carryover naturally aspirated 2.5-liter i4 rates 187 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. Sadly, there's no turbo variant, though a hybrid CX-5 is in the pipeline. Barring our wish for a physical volume knob, the 2026 Mazda CX-5 is a fantastic upgrade. And starting just over $31,000, we're plenty happy in that department too. We'll feature the new CX-5 in a future road test, and we'll have more quick spins soon.
We've deciphered the press releases so you don't have to. Here's Stephanie Hart with all the latest motor news.
Today's update is short but sweet, starting with price reductions for the Subaru WRX. Each trim of this rally-bred compact car is seeing a reduction as much as almost $4,000. And the base model has returned, giving the WRX an entry price of under $34,000. Toyota is making big changes to one of their most popular nameplates. The 2027 Highlander is going all electric. The battery electric Highlander will offer 2 battery packs and front or all-wheel drive. Depending on the configuration, it's estimated between 270 and 320 miles. We also received details on the updated Mercedes-Benz S-Class, still poised to be a top luxury sedan. That's thanks to even more amenities we didn't expect, like available heated seatbelts. The 2027 S-Class is powered by hybrid-assisted 6- or 8-cylinder engines, cruising with 4MATIC all-wheel drive and rear-axle steering. Expect a 6-figure asking price. And regarding new policy, China has moved to ban hidden door handles popularized by Tesla and others. Starting next year, all new vehicles will need mechanical and easy-to-identify door handles inside and out. This move will likely show up in other markets. And that's it for this week's Motor News.
Since the Subaru Outback first arrived 30 years ago as the world's first sport utility wagon, it's been growing and gradually morphing into a full-on SUV. Well, now comes the all-new 7th Gen Outback. It certainly looks bigger and bolder than ever. So is the transformation complete? Well, that's a question we're ready to answer.
The 2026 Subaru Outback is indeed embracing its inner and outer SUV these days. But since we spend most of the time inside our vehicles, not standing around looking at them, We'll roam about the cabin before we taxi around the outside or take flight at the test track.
The first thing you notice in here is that Subaru has finally gotten away from the tall tablet-style infotainment screen, replacing it with this new 12-inch widescreen setup that's mounted high up on the dash. It has new software too, so it is much more responsive, and the icons are nice and big. As for climate, we've gone back to physical controls, much more user-friendly.
The new digital gauge cluster is also 12 inches. Both screens are standard in all Outbacks, and both look great from the driver's seat, which brings us to seat comfort.
Seat comfort has never been a strong point in the Outback, but they have addressed it big time in this new generation. They are all-day comfortable now and more solidly mounted too.
Even better news for rear seat passengers, the Outback's taller shape provides 1.5 inches of additional headroom.
What good is a utility vehicle if it doesn't offer a good amount of utility and even some versatility? And back here, not only is there an additional 2 cubic feet of space, there's also thoughtful features like this nifty little cargo cover that turns into a hammock for multi-level storage. So no more smushed chips.
Fold all the seats down and you've got 80.5 cubic feet, which is up 5 over last year. Comparing the outside to last gen, the new Outback looks more imposing and certainly more SUV-like, but it's not really any bigger, just taller and boxier.
Wheelbase and even ground clearance are exactly the same as they were last year, and don't worry, there's still plenty of rugged-looking plastic everywhere. Oh yeah, this baby's adventure ready.
We got quite adventurous with the new Outback at the National Press Launch in Sedona, Arizona. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard with all Outbacks and is a fully automatic system that not only sends torque rearward when the front wheels are slipping, but actively predicts when to do so based on acceleration, steering, and yaw rate sensors.
And back here in the DMV, the Outback is getting us through some winter weather. X-Mode takes the next step by optimizing engine output and transmission ratios for maximum traction. And it's actually never been easier to engage X-Mode since they've moved the button to right here on the steering wheel. And regardless of surface, the Outback does a really great job of soaking up every bump. The suspension is nice and soft, so whether you're on back roads or whether you're doing some highway road trips, this is a very comfortable drive. Now, you do have a few options when it comes to what's under the hood, but both of these options are Boxer 4s. Standard output in this naturally aspirated 2.5 liter is 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. But XT models get a little something extra thanks to a turbocharged 2.4 liter, producing 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. No turbo in our touring trim tester, so our expectations were kept in check when rolling up to the starting line at our Mason-Dixon test track. Power off the line is smooth, stable, quicker than expected. We're up to 45 miles an hour. We've kind of evened out. And power delivery is still pretty strong as we hit the end of the quarter mile. Our times came in at 8.1 seconds for the 0 to 60 and 16.3 seconds for the quarter mile, finishing at 89 miles per hour. The Outback's chassis and suspension components are mostly the same as before, but there is a new electric-assisted dual-pinion steering setup. Even with the increased height, body roll is at a minimum and less than the Forester. Plus, the upgraded steering that came straight from the WRX makes slicing through these cones way more enjoyable than expected. In panic braking runs, we stopped in a short 104 feet. Runs were mostly consistent with very little fade.
Touring trim gets government fuel economy ratings of 25 city, 32 highway, and 28 combined. We averaged a fine 28.7 miles per gallon of regular. Pricing starts with premium trim at $36,445 and tops out with Touring XT at $49,445. Since the legacy sedan is no longer in production, this 2026 Subaru Outback is no longer a wagon version of it and free to let its SUV flag fly. that makes it the best Outback ever, and a big reason why it's MotorWeek's best mid-size utility for 2026.
Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, for more MotorWeek, including daily news updates, podcasts, and even complete episodes, cruise on over to pbs.org/MotorWeek. And I hope you'll join us next time for a flying finale of the Toyota GR Supra and a tag team test of 2 Volkswagen hot hatchbacks. Till next time, I'm John Davis. We'll see you right here on MotorWeek.
To learn more about MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine, visit pbs.org/MotorWeek.
The MotorWeek app, which includes our latest reviews and feature stories, is now available for mobile devices.
MotorWeek is proudly sponsored by Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper, a nationwide network of stores and shops providing major brand auto and truck parts and service from coast to coast and in your local community. Service is the difference. We get it. Learn more at autovalue.com and bumpertobumper.com.
We're Tire Rack. We test tires and share our results. We stock over 1 million tires. We offer multiple installation options. We do this because we believe tires matter. TireRack.com.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.
You're watching PBS.